G'day legends! So today's video I'm just going to talk about our upcoming Munda Biddi trip, some of the things we've been thinking about and talking about, some of the decisions that we've made. I'm going to overlay this on our training ride. Thanks to Gibbo for organising this. We had a bit of a spin around the Mundaring area, took the Heritage Trail, down, and did a whole bunch of back roads that I've never ridden before. We were all on our fast bikes, XC bikes, hardtails, gravel bikes, so it wasn't kind of the technical riding that I'm used to, I guess, that I do enjoy a lot. But yeah, it was a heap of fun just getting out and having a blast on the roads. Some of the seeing all the beautiful scenery. There was some really good descents, some really challenging climbs, and some really soft sections as well, which were interesting. This was in aid of training for our Munda Biddi attempt at the end of the year. We've sort of locked in a date in September where we're going to start, and we're aiming, I think, at this stage for around 10 days to do the trail. So, for those who don't know, the Munda Biddi is a 1,000 kilometre, just over 1,000 kilometre off-road trail that takes you from our capital city, Perth, or Mundaring specifically, down to Albany. I say down, going south. People do that either north to south or south to north. I think at this stage we've agreed that we're going to do it from south to north. One of the things I really like about that is that you get to finish you get to finish at your home. So you end the ride and you're done. You get to see your family and that sort of thing. But it does mean, we need to travel down to Albany to kick things off. I probably just want to shout out at this stage to Gibbo for the inspiration for doing this. He and Ed attempted the Munda Biddi last year. In fact, I think Dave actually got it done, Gibbo got it done. Ed unfortunately had some things that he had to deal with, had to call the ride short. But I think they had a great time, although Gibbo was certainly hurting towards the end of the ride. But all good experience. So it's inspired me, and it's inspired a group of us actually. I think at this stage there's 4 or 5 of us. We got Dave's going to go again. Ed's going to try and finish it off. Dion, who's training like a demon at the moment, really into his fitness, he's going to give it a crack as well. Fred, who's always up for an adventure ride, and Jerry as well. Dark Horse has been talking about it, but he's still in Bali, sipping on the bintangs. So it's a long way away. There's plenty of time. I'm sure if he's keen, he'll be able to do it.
Legend.
Just a few thoughts about the ride. We're going to try and do it as a group, which could be interesting, challenging. We're all sort of different fitness levels and that sort of thing. But I think where we ended up, we can make it work. 10 days, 100 k's a day. That's a lot for anyone. But I think what we're going to do is just ride at our own pace. We're going to go. I think we're going to have like kind of a rough plan, accommodation, or where we're going to stay each night. But then, when we go in the morning, I guess it's up to you. If you want to sleep in and get there later in the day, then go for it, or travel with the group, or whatever you want to do. So I feel like that's a good way to do it, because there's nothing worse than constantly having to wait for other riders, or on the flip side, having people wait for you as well. That can kind of take the fun out of it. So I feel like that's a good approach. But we'll figure that out as we get a bit closer to the time. In terms of bikes, this has been a real hot topic amongst us. What bike should we take? We've all got, we're all fortunate enough to have a couple of options there. For myself, I was considering my Genius, it's a trail bike, full suspension, or my Giant XTC hardtail, which I really love. I really love that bike. That's what I'm riding on today. And after this ride, I kind of feel like that is the bike for me. It's super quick, efficient, comfortable, comfortable enough for the terrain that we're doing, capable enough for the terrain that we'll be doing. It was interesting watching the guys on the gravel bikes. So yeah, super efficient and great when it's flat and that sort of thing. But yeah, some of those descents, they were sketchy, and obviously didn't have to go quite as fast as we were going in some places, but it was terrifying enough on the hardtail mountain bike, let alone a gravel bike. And as well as that, the boys did have a couple of little laydowns. Dion in particular, I think every time he came up to me, he's like, "Oh, just had another laydown." I'm like, "What?" And that was on the climbs. So, pretty sure. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to have a good chat to Dion after about it, but I suspect he may be leaning in the direction of the cross-country bike at this stage. Dave on the Epic was absolutely smashing it, so
that's self-adhesive.
I know he's probably already made that decision.
Yeah.
Ed on the gravel bike as well, really lovely bike. He was getting used, he wasn't 100% sure about it when I chatted to him before the ride, but as the ride progressed, he seemed to be getting more comfortable with it. But that's also without any gear, so once we start loading up and adding a bit more weight, how's that going to affect things? So weight, equipment, that's probably another hot topic for us. Do we go heavy? Do we pack light? If we go heavy, then it probably gives us a few more options in terms of accommodation. We take our tents, we take our mattresses, whatever it is, and that sounds nice because you then, if you want to go a little bit further or you want to cut it short for the day, then you can just pack, just set up camp wherever you are. So I do really like that idea, but also the idea of travelling light and just being able to ride fast and fun, not be weighted down by that. That's why we ride bikes at the moment, and I reckon that would be a great thing to keep going throughout this ride. So what that does mean is that if we packed really light, we would try and organise accommodation, and that again that kind of ties us down a little bit to a schedule, but I think we can make it work, and the benefit of it is that we've got a bunch of guys, so hopefully that'll make it easier to organise some accommodation. Alright, last little thought for the day, travelling solo versus travelling in a group. I mean, I think the decision's already been made, right? Like, we're travelling in a group, so, doing it solo does sound nice, but yeah, I am really looking forward to doing it in a group. Even if we do that thing where we're, not always riding together, at least we're all out there on the trail. We'll be able to help each other, keep track of each other, and if we end up at the same place at the end of the day, that'll be fantastic. We'll get to have a beer together, swap stories, and that sort of thing. So yeah, I can't really see any downsides in that. We've all ridden together quite a bit. We get along, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. Everyone's pretty chill. Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be fantastic. The other thing that I did want to talk about was duration. So 10 days. It is a bit of a push. 100 k's a day, and that'll add up, right? 100 k's is fine to do in a day, but you start doing that back to back, you've got to think about saddle sores, as Michael had pointed out to me, saddle sores and our knees as well. Not getting any younger, that's for sure. So all those sorts of things will start to come into effect. But for me, and I think probably for everyone, right? 10 days, even 10 days is a long time. I'm gonna, you're missing the family for that time, so really wanting to minimise that time away. And yeah, 10 days sounds good. You know, want to balance that as well with actually enjoying the trail. Commit to that time, 10 days, be out there, yeah, enjoy it, you know, don't rush. Well, you know, each day is, you know, go as fast as you like each day, but then enjoy the recovery and that sort of thing. So yeah, I know 10 days is probably a reasonably quick time to do it in, but you know, nothing compared to the, what was it, 4 days I think the record holder recently got. But it'll be manageable, I think, and it's a lot of riding each day, but that's great. You know, that's all we're there to do: ride, recover, and then do it again. So anyway, look, I'll stop waffling on. Hope you enjoyed this slightly more, you know, relaxed format today. Hope you enjoyed the viewing as well. If you've got any tips for the Munda Biddi, I would love to hear them. Drop them in a comment below, and yeah, hope you enjoyed the views as well. There was some really magnificent views out there, trails and that sort of thing. So definitely encourage you to get out there and check out all the back roads as well. It's good fun. All right, take it easy. See you out there. Cheers.
Oh, whoa.